What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Season Gaming Bitcast episode 91. And guess what? Chiefs did it.
Yeah.
We were going to record this, so it's Monday as we're recording this. Right. We were going to record Sunday, but things came up. Shit happens. And
out of my mouth. And all over the
toilet. Got really sick, and then Super Bowl happened, so we're recording Monday. We were going to do a little bet on the Super Bowl. I'm glad I didn't.
Yep.
But yeah, Chiefs. It's crazy here right now.
It's going to get nuts. If it weren't for the weather that we're supposed to get, I don't know how the parade is going to go. The Royals had like 700,000 people.
Yeah, it's going to be
nutty.
This
is probably they're forecasting 2 million people.
Holy
down
crap.
At the Union Station in Kansas City. And
for those of you who aren't aware, you can't fit 2 million people down there.
No, 700,000 people were abandoning their cars on the highway, on interstates. Like the one that goes straight through downtown Kansas City, there were cars in the two left or right lanes and couldn't get anywhere. People were parking on grass, just wherever they could go. And
it's going to be chaos. They closed schools. So to give you an idea, Kansas City, schools are closed Wednesday because so many families are going to go to the parade. They were like, why bother having school?
I mean, they did it for the Royals too. So yeah, it doesn't happen very often here in Kansas City, so you got to take advantage.
Yeah,
but, from here on out, you never know. Mahomes magic, baby.
Mahomes, man.
Gosh, he's so good.
You see that picture, the meme where the Niners got their second pick on him, and the whole defense lined up in the end zone and posed, and it was like, what are you doing? The game is not even close to over yet. Like, come on.
I knew they were coming back after that because then I think they came back down, and after their interception of Garoppolo, they went over there and did the same thing at the end of the game.
Well, supposedly Mahomes walked over to the sideline and said something to the effect of, like, remember this moment because it's going to be remembered for a long time. And
it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. That dude's inspirational.
Guy's good.
It's cool to see someone so talented have a proper head on his shoulders.
Right. It doesn't happen very often.
It's pretty rare. Especially in the NFL, yeah.
Yeah, he's a pretty good dude.
Yep.
Good dude.
So awesome. Well, we don't want, not the football podcast, but if they had different overtime rules last year, remember they lost the Patriots overtime, but they never got the ball.
Nope.
So they were very close to potentially going back to back in his first two seasons.
Yeah. The guy's
it's ridiculous.
He's 24 years old. He's got an MVP, a Super Bowl MVP, and a Super Bowl
and a Lombardi. Yeah. Hey, he's doing all right.
He's doing okay.
Hey, it's a record, by the way. He's he broke Brady's record and something else.
Roethlisberger, I think, was the other one that was under 25.
Yeah, crazy.
He's gonna get paid so much money.
That's true.
So much money. Yep. And he deserves every bit. He's a good dude.
Yep. All right. So video games. So we're going to kick off as we've been doing with our weekly poll. So weekly poll this week, as you may have noticed, Nintendo president came out and said they have no plans to release a Switch Pro upgraded Switch hardware in 2020, contrary to what I think many were hoping, and rumors that obviously had been spread. So we did the poll on that this week, basically saying, are you disappointed that Nintendo is not going to release a upgraded Switch in 2020? So it was about... Well, it wasn't really close. So 27%, 27.5% said yes, and 72.5% said no. And a lot of the responses on no were really around, we're already getting 2 new consoles this year. Switch is complementary for what the Switch does. It doesn't need to be high-tech. A lot of things like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't call the Switch complementary, as we'll see here in the sales here in a little bit.
No, not for a lot of people.
Right, yeah. It's a huge... I understand where they're coming from, though. Being...
And these are individual opinions.
Right, yeah. And hardcore gamers, we want the best tech. We want the best looking stuff,
Yeah, I said yes. Powerful. I'm disappointed. I wanted to know.
I'm 100% disappointed. Yeah. Actually, I've been playing Fire Emblem, finishing up my...
I heard it's excellent.
It's so good. And I didn't give it the proper chance when it came out. And I've been playing it. The only problem I have with this is the save, switching over from console to console, because I take my light downstairs at night. And the save, there's no online saves. You can transfer them.
It's only 2020, man. Calm down.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't be complaining. But yeah, I'm a little disappointed.
You have to manually transfer?
Yeah, you gotta manually. You can do it between consoles, so you can transfer, saves. They're sitting next to each other. It's stupid.
Wow.
Some games do have online saves.
Yeah.
And I guess I just didn't ever look for Fire Emblem because I've always done it manually. It probably does, and I've been wasting my time, and now I'm upset. So, but yeah, I want some more powerful hardware. I want to, it'd be nice for a 1080p screen and some battery life.
Just want do everything the Switch does in native 1080p.
Right,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, and lasts longer than 3 hours.
Yeah, and the battery,
You know.
which battery tech, even since the Switch launched in 2017, has come a long way. So
I haven't
there's no
charged
reason.
my Xbox Elite controller in 3 months.
Dude, that thing lasts forever. It's ridiculous.
That's exaggerated,
Yeah.
but dang, man.
It wasn't even out 3 months ago, but
Yeah, nevertheless. It was, that thing lasts forever.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, man. I know it's not, putting a screen on and everything, but that's crazy. You could do something better, Nintendo. It's not like you're broke. Fix the Joy-Con drift.
Speaking of which.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of which.
So, we've got end of the fiscal quarter, and so naturally Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony releasing their results. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. As we're recording this, Xbox and Nintendo have released their results, and PlayStation is due now. They're probably having the meeting right now. The expectations are very in line with what Microsoft saw. We're coming to the tail end of the generation for the Xbox and the PlayStation, and so you start to see hardware sales wind down, and year over year it looks like there's a decline. But anyway, back to the Switch. It's not seeing a decline. In fact, it just continues to blow everything away. In fact, it's sold through now 52.8 million units as of December 31st. So
Boom.
By the end of 2019. And the way they report their numbers is really weird. They called it a fiscal quarter, but it was like 9 months. And I'm like, that's not a quarter. I don't know what Nintendo's... But anyway.
That's a Nintendo quarter.
So 52.8 million units, which I did some research on this. It's officially faster than the PlayStation 4, which, as we all know, PlayStation 4 is the second best-selling console of all time now. It passed the PS1 and the Wii for total sales.
Okay.
No, PS2 is number one.
Okay.
PS4 is now number two. But as far as I can tell, I think the Switch is now the second fastest-selling console of all time, only behind the Wii. The Wii did 45 million units in 2 years. The Switch is at 52.8 in 2.5 years. Now, the Switch may be number one if you go in and look at all this data. All the charts are so close and the numbers aren't exact. But I think based on what I saw, the Wii was still faster out of the gate. Mm-hmm. And you can remember Wii Fever was ridiculous when that thing first came out.
You couldn't find anything.
No. It was selling for near like $1,000 if you had a Wii and a few games like at launch. It was crazy. But anyway, Switch is selling like mad. Their software sales now... 123 million units in the fiscal, what they're reporting as the fiscal quarter, which is a 30% year-over-year increase. Which, when you see 30% year-over-year increase, people are getting paid.
Yeah. My gosh, man.
Yeah, so Nintendo is just killing it. It goes without saying. So we talked a lot about this like a year and a half ago when you first came on the Bitcast. We were talking about how the Switch curve was going to happen and would it die down, but probably not, because the 3DS was going to phase out, right? And the Switch was going to act as like the home console and the portable console.
Right. And
with DS sales always being so popular, the Switch has kind of taken that place of both, and it's just capitalizing.
It's disgusting. I mean, Nintendo, there is no reason I don't have, I should not have Metroid Prime 4 right now in my hand.
Joy-Con shouldn't be drifting.
Right.
Like, come on.
They don't even care.
Nintendo Online should function, over 24K or whatever it is.
Right. We say that all the time. They're just, it's Nintendo, and they're going to Nintendo as hard as anybody else. So it's
We're turning it into a verb.
Yeah, they've Nintendo'd everything. It is what it is. I mean, the Switch, I love it. I love the Switch. I love being able, the portability is great. I love a lot of the games on there. I've got several games that I have on not only the Switch, but also a home console. If we got to the point where all online saves were, cross-platform, I would absolutely buy more games on my Switch that I already have. Because,
it's just your portable factor.
Right. In March, what's the Outer Worlds is coming to it.
Yeah. We were going to talk about that.
Oh, okay.
March 6th, to be exact.
On March 6th, to be exact. We'll still talk about that later. But it's games like that, that you want to start seeing. You want to start seeing those cool big third-party games like The Witcher 3.
Yep.
If Red Dead 2 came out for it, I would lose
I'd be in trouble.
Yeah, I'd lose my crap. Yeah. I mean, it would be insane.
Well, so CD Projekt Red came out and said that they had a quote this weekend, basically saying that we don't think that CD... God, I can't speak. I'm going to start drinking and they help. Yeah. That Cyberpunk is going to work on the Switch, but then they said, but we didn't think The Witcher was going to either, and they got it to work, so who knows?
Man.
And if they do release a stronger Switch next year, then they'll be all good for games like Cyberpunk.
yeah, just bring it on, boys. Whenever you guys want to do it, I mean, it's fine. We'll buy it. It'll be fine.
Dude, I can't even open this can. That's the type of night I'm having right now, and it's a Truly can, which is making me look ridiculous. Sorry about that sound for you on audio. So anyway, the Switch is just out of control. I don't think anyone at this point, because there were a lot of us, including us, that were saying, okay, the Switch fever will die out, and it'll kind of level off, and it's just not. Nope. It's just getting stronger. So
strong.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see what continues to happen with the Switch. I'm one of those where I'm indifferent to the Switch. Like I know, I recognize its qualities. I recognize game library. The portability is great. They're doing everything right for the Nintendo fan base, like we've talked about. But I'm indifferent to it. I don't play mine much. I don't know. I'm weird, but yeah, it is what it is.
There's so many things to play everywhere. So I mean,
and I don't play portable much. And the only time I play portable is if I'm traveling, and usually when I'm on a plane nowadays, I'm writing or working. So
I gotcha.
Anyway, so fiscal results continuing on that front. So Microsoft and Xbox. So Microsoft in general is just, their numbers are absolutely absurd. Richest company in the world. But specific to Xbox, gaming revenue was down 21% year over year. But the CFO, Amy Hood, said, they attribute this to a decrease in hardware sold, like we said, predictable drop, given that this represents the final holiday season of the current console generation, and they actually forecasted this drop, in the previous quarter. So they knew that gaming revenue was going to be down. The more interesting thing for people like us is that Game Pass subscriptions nearly doubled, which is kind of crazy to think about because it was like a few months ago, they don't never talk numbers, right? But a few months ago in an interview, it was either Spencer or someone else that let slip that was at 9.5 million players. Game Pass, 9.5 million subscribers.
Okay, so you're probably close to 20 million now.
Well, I don't know if they mean doubled just in the quarter or since last year. They're not super specific, but regardless, you're almost guaranteed to be 10, 12, whatever million.
Right. And you don't know how those numbers are gauged, especially with Microsoft. I don't know why they just don't come out and be like, hey, this is what it is. Who cares? I mean, like, literally, who cares? Aside from the people, the Twitter guys.
That don't matter. Hashtag Twitter guy.
Hashtag Twitter guy. Those guys, nobody cares about them. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Just come out and say, hey, this is how much we sold. There it is. Yeah. Guess what? We're still making billions and billions of dollars, hand over fist.
Yeah, I think it was 3.3 billion this quarter, and it's like, that's they're doing all right. Yeah. And Xbox Live monthly active users, MAU, you might see sometimes monthly active users reached a new record as well. So previously they were at 60. I'm going off memory. I want to say 65 or 68 million active users. So they're probably over 70 now, which is, it's way up there with Steam and PSN.
Yeah, I don't know what MAU is. Now I do. Thank you very much. I was like, I don't know what.
When you read through these, and I actually read the actual fiscal, there's all kinds of acronyms you have to know.
Xbox Live MAU. That's what I read, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. That's awesome.
And Sony's expected to report very similar. Like we said, this is happening as we record, but same thing. Overall revenue probably down year over year just due to the slow decrease there. But
I'm wondering if like Game Pass, like Ultimate Game Pass and Xbox Live, if that has anything to do with obviously they're connected. If you go to the Ultimate, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, very good point. Yeah,
and it's just
it brought that PC crowd in too.
Right. Yeah. You had some new users over there, but again, this is why we just need some numbers and just be like, hey, we can accurately report this instead of saying,
they might as well just move to a thumbs up, thumbs down.
We got some more guys playing. All right, cool.
All right. But yeah, I mean, it's what we've been saying before. The arguments around these three companies are just absurd. They're all making billions of dollars. They're all successful. They're all going to go well into for years and years. So just enjoy the games. Stop worrying about the ridiculous hashtag Twitter guy stuff.
Yes.
So
I just quickly checked for the Sony earnings stuff. Not out yet.
Not yet. Okay. Yeah. It'll be right after we record.
Yes. As soon as we're done, we'll make an edit.
Yeah. Flash in.
Yeah. Breaking news.
So let's move on to the news, and there's a lot to talk about this week. There's just a lot of things that kind of happened, and the biggest thing that I wanted to talk about that I think people almost kind of looked over because it got mentioned so casually.
Yeah, not me.
No, this is super exciting.
Yeah.
So a new studio has opened, Archetype Entertainment, and we did post this on our site. If you follow us, you kind of would have been up to speed on this. But this is a new studio under the Wizards of the Coast company, who are responsible for Dungeons & Dragons and Magic the Gathering. Now, this studio, what makes this so interesting is that you've got some of the key people who were involved in some of the greatest Western RPGs of all time, including some of the BioWare greats. So James Olin, who is going to be the head of the studio. If you don't know Olin, he was previously the creative director and the lead designer at BioWare during the days when they made Baldur's Gate, Knights of the Old Republic, and the original Dragon Age. So you couldn't say a bad thing about any of the three of those games. Those are just three classics. Chad Robertson is the vice president and studio general manager. So those two guys are basically running the studio.
Right.
And he was previously at BioWare as the studio general manager and the head of technology. And then the name that really got overlooked that wasn't reported was Drew Karpyshyn, excuse me. He's the guy who actually wrote Mass Effect 1 and Knights of the Old Republic. Two of the greatest stories that have been told in gaming, in my opinion.
Oh.
So, along with kind of what I saw, those are the three big names, but there's other people, animators, and other kind of core people from BioWare and other big studios that are joining these guys. So this is literally like a dream team.
Yeah.
And they said they're making a sci-fi role-playing game, and they said if you look at their mission statement, it is to create the best role-playing games on the planet.
Without EA.
Yeah, without EA. They're under a role-playing fantasy company.
If they just do an updated version of, any of these games, not necessarily the same universe.
I know what you mean. Not remaster,
right,
but take the tenants.
You don't have that very much anymore. It's hard to find. Like Greedfall was, very similar to that, but it was done by a very small studio, and they didn't have the resources, I don't think.
Yeah.
For what they had, they did a great job.
Yeah.
But this is huge. Drew, if you're watching this, because I know you're a big seasoned gaming guy,
there you go.
Call me. I'm here for back rubs, any kind of massages that you may need, anything you need, free of charge.
You're going to be typing so much.
Yeah, I'll fly out to wherever. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, we want you, and take your time,
Yep.
No problem. I usually want to see stuff early, and I want stuff now, but I'm willing to, set those feelings aside if you bring us something amazing.
With a group like this, you just give them money and say, do your thing.
Right.
Leave them alone.
That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Just do it, man.
Don't tell them what they should do. Let them do what they know they need to do.
Exactly.
So,
take notes.
So, super excited. If you, like I said, you weren't paying attention, check our site. It's Archetype Entertainment. They do have their Twitter account up, their social media accounts. Follow them. You will want to know what they are making.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, other big news. Resident Evil 8. So, Resident Evil, 2 Remake, one of the best games last year. Resident Evil 7, big hit. Awesome kind of rethink or reimagining, I guess you could say, of the franchise. So, Resident Evil 8, rumors, not rumors, but some pretty steady information here. It's going to be first person again. Some people like that. Some people were hoping back to third. I actually like it. Ethan's going to return as the protagonist, so you played Ethan in Resident Evil 7, and, there was an ending there that obviously can be continued upon. Chris Redfield. Oh, yeah. I'm sitting here talking to you like you finished it. You don't know.
No.
Chris Redfield will make an appearance. That's all they said.
Nice.
Zombies are going to return. Cool. So you didn't really fight zombies in Resident Evil 7. It was more kind of creatures. Mm-hmm. And then werewolves are going to debut. So if you imagine, first-person Resident Evil with zombies back in werewolves, that already sounds cool as hell. The only thing that's questionable to me anyway is that they said there's going to be a new Stalker type. And in a few of the Resident Evils, including Resident Evil 2 Remake and the upcoming Resident Evil 3 Remake with Nemesis, the Stalker type is the guy who just shows up and is just indestructible, right? And kind of chases you around. And I don't like that. That really, it like ruins the game for me. Because everyone plays games at their own pace.
Right.
And I don't like being forced to say, okay, you have to run from this room now and hide because this guy's coming after you. It's why I didn't think Outlast was that great as a horror title. Gotcha. Some people do. I didn't.
Yeah. Nope.
Dan won't be playing in VR?
No, absolutely not.
It'd be cool actually to see if they do VR again for this one.
Did they now? Was VR like added on later on in Resident Evil 7?
In 7 it was.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's the full game. It's not like a mission, it's the whole thing. I have it. I've never gone back to play it. I need to do that.
Yeah, there's no chance. I am going to stay as far away from this as possible. I got to
I'll
gate.
do the review on this one.
Yeah, I got to the gate on 7, and some crows flew out from some brush, and I stopped. Immediately right there, because that was probably, that was enough for me. That's how big of a pussy I am. So, I'm done.
You should watch, those guys I watch, like RKG.
Yeah.
Back on the Prepare to Try, they did a full playthrough of Resident Evil.
I watched a little bit of it.
You should watch it because it's just, that way you're not freaked out, you're just watching it, but it's a pretty gory game. It's pretty serious.
Yeah, it looks cool. I saw some stuff with, like, a cop and... that I guess happens early, and that wasn't very pleasant.
He doesn't get a good fate.
It's not even the blood that bothers me; it's the jump scares.
Yeah,
I can't deal with it. I'm like literally 2 seconds from a heart attack. So I don't need anything else to kill me.
But this sounds good.
It does sound awesome.
Yeah, Nemesis comes out March,
sure.
April. Yeah, comes out this year. As usual, I didn't put the damn release date here, and I forget off the top of my head, but. Yeah. I think there was, now this is just a rumor, this wasn't in this information, but I could have sworn I saw something about this releasing this year. It might be a fall title, who knows? So we'll see. That'd be great, especially if it's optimized for the next gen. So we already kind of touched on this one, but Outer Worlds, one of our favorite games of last year, my favorite game of last year, is coming to the Switch March 6th. If you are a hardcore Switch player listening to us and you haven't played this yet on any other platform, pick it up. Fantastic RPG.
Yeah.
Very kind of old school, BioWare-ish, Bethesda-ish, lots of personalities. Best sense of humor I've seen in a game in a long time. Best writing I've seen in a game in a long time. And player choice that actually matters, and you can play through it multiple times. The only thing to be aware of here is if you're an old guy like me who likes the Switch physical games, there's no cartridge. Even if you buy this at a store in the case, there's no cartridge to be had here. It's just a code in the box, which, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Just go find a Switch game that's like $2, get online and, search up like the box art. You can just have it, you don't have to go out and...
Yeah, you can make your own.
Yeah, you can, just buy it later.
I have printed out custom casework for Skyrim for the Switch.
Perfect.
People made some really cool ones, yeah. But, anyway, check that out. One of the other pieces of news this week that I really, really got excited about for ARPG guys is Torchlight is back. So they were making Torchlight Frontiers, which, kind of at first sounded like they were trying to switch up the Torchlight formula a little bit and kind of expand it a little bit differently from your standard ARPG. But they have now switched that. They said they're expanding the game. They've gotten a lot of good feedback from the beta testers who have been playing it early. And basically, they're creating another player class, and they're just going to make it Torchlight 3 officially.
Might as well, man.
So,
Torchlight's awesome.
Torchlight's amazing. Awesome loot game, especially if you love loot like I do. This is pretty good news. They released like a 1.5-minute video talking about it, giving some details. It's going to be a big full-price game, and it is coming this year in 2020 to Steam. So they didn't announce any console platforms yet. But knowing that Torchlight 2 more recently came to consoles, I would hope that Torchlight 3, the console releases are just after they get it out on PC. So maybe, hopefully, early 2021 or something like that.
Yep, man. I love Torchlight 1. I didn't play 2.
Torchlight 1 was really addictive, but Torchlight 2 really expanded it. It's a much bigger game.
See, that's what I was afraid of. So, it's...
In a good way, though.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it probably came out at a time where I had so much other things going on.
And it was PC only for 5 years.
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
Stupid.
But I'll play this one for sure.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there day one. I don't know about on Steam. We'll see. But I'll be there day one when it releases on console.
Since you have your $21,000 computer coming, you can play it first day, man.
Yeah, I could. We'll see.
It's not $21,000.
No, 18.
Yeah.
But another classic returning is Wasteland. So we heard about this before, with inXile now being part of Xbox Game Studios. They are going back and, putting a lot more production value and time into Wasteland 3, which is their big title releasing later this year. But they went back and remastered Wasteland. Now, if you're not familiar with this is really, really going back. This is late 80s Western RPG, post-apocalyptic. It's basically taking the original Fallout formula. If you played Fallout 1 and 2 before it went to 3D, is what Wasteland did. And so this is coming on February 25th. It's going to have new music, controller support, a bunch of quality of life improvements as you would expect. It is Game Pass day one, so Game Pass PC or Xbox, it's going to be there. But this is still going to be cool to go back to. It's a very cool game, but yes, it is very, very dated at this point. Yeah. I mean, it's 30 years old. So.
And when does 3 come out? It comes out this year too, right?
I believe May.
Yeah. May, I guess this will get you, it's kind of like a small primer.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And obviously, kind of get you into the universe. And if you have Game Pass, probably one of those games that's perfect for Game Pass. Because I don't think, unless you're a really old school PC guy, you're not running out to buy the original Wasteland nowadays. But kind of get it back into your mindset for when 3 comes out. 3 is actually looking beautiful.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Looks great.
Mm-hmm.
So. All right, what else we got? We got a whole bunch of stuff here, man. So this just happened today. So the fact that we're recording Monday instead of Sunday, this happened. So Platinum Games has launched a Kickstarter, of all things, to do a wonderful 101 Remastered. And so that actually opened today as we're recording. And they began by asking for $50,000, which kind of threw people for a loop. And I know there's a backstory there that I haven't fully read through, but $50,000 doesn't do anything in terms of game development. So, but it was about 9 hours had passed when I typed this up, and they were already over 650,000 from nearly 10,000 backers. So if you do the math there, people are seriously spending some money on this. But the interesting thing here is it's originally coming to Steam and Switch, had a stretch goal to land on the PS4, but no Xbox One. Yeah. So there's further stretch goals to like 1 million, 1.5 million, but it adds stuff to the game.
Right.
There's no Xbox One version. So, this goes back to the whole conversation around Platinum Games and the relationship with Microsoft after the Scalebound fallout, and is there some underlying kind of bad blood or, difficulties, whatever, around why this isn't coming to Xbox.
That's fine. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it would be cool to play it, for everybody to, have the chance to do it. But, I don't know all the ins and outs of exactly what happened behind the scenes. I don't think
anyone does. No.
Yeah, so it's, I get it. You're probably, mad about something. Fine, that's cool. There's plenty of other versions for sure. There's 3 other places you can play it. Go play it.
So the comment that came out today, or maybe not today, but recently too, was that Platinum actually wants to buy the Scalebound IP from Microsoft, from Xbox.
This isn't going to help.
This is not the way to go about that.
If you want to do that, then what are you doing here? I think what I read about this was Nintendo actually owns that wonderful 101 IP.
Yep.
And they basically said, either do it with us or do it by yourself. That was like the quote that I saw somewhere. Just, whatever you want to do. So it was Steam then PS4, or no, Steam then Switch, or was it Switch then Steam? Was their goal?
Oh, the order?
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what it was. But it was probably Switch first, and then Steam after that, and PS4, and then was the last one. Whatever. If it's a good game, I will play it. If not,
I never played it.
Neither have I.
It didn't sell well.
Yeah, I mean that's what I saw. Yeah, a lot of people were like, a lot of people missed out on this. I've never even heard of it until today, so...
You probably didn't play it.
No, I did not play it. But, if it's good, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, so we'll see what this ends at. I mean, it's crushing goals right now. It's still got like 30-some days to go.
Yeah.
So we'll see where this ends at. Speaking of funny quotes you were talking about, I saw one today. This is completely off topic, but one of the presidents of Nintendo, came out and said... It's too funny, I can't even get it out. He said the reason that PS1 outsold the N64 so heavily is that people like to play depressing games in the dark by themselves.
That's fair, because there were a lot of those. You can see, Parasite Eve and D and, Resident... Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean, why not, right? Just throw that out there as a reason. Someone posted there, like, because I hated Crash Bandicoot, Jak and Daxter, Spyro...
Exactly.
Like all these classic games that were on the PS1. It's just, you wonder where these old guys come up with these quotes. It's like,
from Nintendo, he can say whatever he wants.
That's true. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
I think that probably made him $3 million. That's probably what happened. Nice.
All right, so going back into the history books again, one I'm super excited about that we talked about after E3 is Phantasy Star Online 2. The beta rolls out this week on Xbox. It is up for Xbox Insiders as of today as we're recording this. I actually installed it just a few hours ago. 68 gigs.
Jeez.
Yeah, I went to install it, and I figured, those graphics, whatever. I was like, it'd be 15 gigs or something, the full game. 68 gigs. So be prepared if you're going to install this. It is enhanced for the Xbox One X. So that could be part of it. I don't really know. I didn't go into the details of why it's 68 gigs, but that's a big game.
Dear Lord.
So if you want to play this and you're not familiar, you need to be an Xbox Insider, which you have to sign up for. But the download link is live now, so you can pre-install it. The beta actually doesn't begin until Friday. Starts, Friday, February 7th, 5 p.m. Pacific. So as you're listening to this. And then it runs through Saturday at midnight or Sunday, 12 a.m. Pacific. So about a day and a half you get the...
That's it?
That's it. It's just a quick beta. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm planning to jump in... I'm planning to jump in either Friday night or Saturday.
Yeah, no doubt.
And,
man.
check this out, and I'll report back. Yeah, if you want to jump in together, man. I love some Phantasy Star Online now. It has been, of course, 20 years since I last played it, right?
Yeah.
So it may feel a little dated, but we'll see.
Cool.
People still love it.
Yeah, man.
So...
Damn, 68 gigs.
68 gigs. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Anyway, looking forward to that one. And in more bizarre kind of classic news here, I figured we'd touch on, is that Atari, back in the news, for opening gaming-themed hotels.
This is a brilliant idea, I think. I mean, I love this.
It could be. I love the quote. So anyway, it's going to be 8 hotels across major cities. And here's the actual quote off their site around what these hotels are going to be like. The Atari Hotels will feature common areas following the latest trends in hotel hospitality with a focus on video game universe and the Atari brand. They will include state-of-the-art esports studio, an Atari gaming playground, meeting and event rooms, co-working spaces, restaurants, bars, bakery, movie theater, and gym. They are targeted at family or business travelers, isn't that everyone? Providing a luxurious, relaxed, and one-of-a-kind experience.
Cool, man.
So
that's awesome.
Do it up. It sounds like this is going to be kind of higher end, which...
Did they say what cities?
Yes, they did. I don't have them listed in here. It's Kansas City is not one of them.
No shit.
I want to say San Fran, Seattle, Chicago, Austin. I'm going off memory here.
Probably New York, I'm guessing.
Might have been, yeah. Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, it's on our site, so check it out if you want to see if your city's on there. But yeah, this sounds kind of crazy. You can kind of see it, right? Because I stay in a lot of hotels with travel and whatnot, and they really are not accommodating to tech people.
No.
They're just not. I think did I send you a picture of that TV that was in the hotel?
Dude, that was awesome.
This was a 32-inch TV from at least a decade ago.
Hilarious.
Had to be. It still had
it's a Polaroid.
Had DVI ports on it.
Oh.
And I was like, DVI? That's pretty cool. That's going back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, if they actually do this tech properly and the bedrooms are really nice with advanced, networks for gaming.
Well, if they're going to go for it, put a console or a PC or something in every single room.
Or be able to pick one.
Yeah.
Like when you rent the room, they'll set one up for you.
I want the Xbox floor. I want the PS4 floor. That'd be awesome.
They're going to give you an Atari 2600
right.
on an RF cable.
Yep. That's what's going to happen.
Our younger listeners are like, what's an RF cable?
With the controller with the one red button.
That's all you need, man.
Playing Pitfall. That's what we're going to be doing.
Didn't even need well, I guess you had to jump. Yeah, I was going to say there's some games that didn't even use the one button.
Nope.
Just moved.
I'll do that too. Give me the Atari room.
Kind of curious what they mean about a state-of-the-art esports studio. The way they worded that's really weird.
I mean, if they're going to go like that, I mean, esports is blowing up, right?
Oh,
so
course.
why not just have almost like a mini stadium where you can have,
like a mini arena.
Yeah, like a mini arena where it's like, okay, you see it in Vegas a lot. A lot of people are there, or Los Angeles and stuff like that. So I mean, that's always set up for that. I mean, there's your tour. They sponsor a tour for like whatever game they want to do, CS:GO or whatever, and then they go to like these 8 different cities.
Yeah, that's true.
You could have,
that's a good point.
They could really do something cool with it if they, don't make too big of a bakery. So that's
don't
really
focus on the bakery.
Yeah,
I don't know though. You get the esports players in there, bakery may pop off.
Yeah, you never know. You know what I want though? I want like one of those Pitfall crocodile cookies. That's what they need to make in the bakery.
Giant crocodile cookies.
Giant crocodile.
I was thinking
cookies.
eclairs, but I like your idea better.
Scones.
A gym. Let's be honest.
I know. What the hell? Do I look like I ever use a damn gym? That's gonna be the least used room. It's gonna be full of dust bunnies. And,
should we just get rid of this and expand the arena?
Exactly.
Yes.
Or the bakery.
The bakery,
Yeah, just put a candy store in there. You'd probably sell way more.
Yeah. Loaded up with Monster and Red Bull and sweets. Yeah.
Cheetos, Doritos.
There you go. Mountain Dew.
Woo!
We're hitting all the stereotypes here, aren't we?
I don't even care. Look at me, man. I'm fucking almost 300 pounds. I might have broke it since I haven't worked for...
They're going to call you up. What should we put in here?
Yeah.
All right.
Come at me, Atari. Let's do this.
So there's a lot of updates for current games right now. So Battlefield 5, and we've talked about Battlefield 5 quite a bit and how it, didn't really hit the stride that most Battlefield titles have hit. So Chapter 6 is launching this week, I believe. Into the Jungle, it's called. There's a new map called Solomon Islands. Looks really, really cool. I always love jungle maps in multiplayer games, along with weapons and updates and everything else. And, we'll see if this kind of... We always say if it's going to bring people back to the game or not. I don't really know. Probably not. There's just too much on the market. And I did a little research. I've been researching way too much of this stuff lately. But on the community seems to be really kind of negative around Battlefield 5 right now to DICE, because apparently in one of the more recent updates, and sorry we didn't follow this closer, but they made a significant change to the time to kill with various weapons. And a bunch of people are kind of flipping out about it, saying you've kind of ruined the game here because you can pepper people with tons of shots and you won't get the kill, and it just kind of changed the balance of the game. So I'm not close enough to it to know if this is just the whiners rising to the top, but it seemed from everything I looked at pretty prevalent. So
that doesn't surprise me. It almost seems like it changes every time they put out a
well, if you remember that happened when they first started the game.
When we were playing. I remember that stuff. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know.
Isn't that what Jumanji's called too? Into the Jungle? Or maybe it's something else. The second Jumanji was called it. I don't know what it was called.
I don't know.
We're going to have to look that up later.
Do we?
No.
But yeah, so I don't know. Let us know if you're listening and big Battlefield 5 player. Let us know if there is an issue with the time to kill and if Into the Jungle is going to be something you're interested in. Because honestly, it just from everything I read, the update actually looked cool. I reinstalled it, played a couple matches the other day, and I was, I was enjoying it. I was doing terrible because I'm way out of sync with, how to play that game now. But it didn't seem anything super negative to me. But then I'm not close to it. So.
Yeah, it's Welcome to the Jungle, and that was the first one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was close.
Yeah, close.
Yeah. Into the Jungle.
Into the Jungle. Yeah.
You guys are super awesome with your creativity. Battlefield.
So, Apex Legends, a more popular shooter.
Nuts.
Yeah, so Season 4 trailer, or Season 4 is coming, excuse me. An amazing trailer about this character called Revenant, and if you haven't watched this, they've done a fantastic job, Respawn has, with these animated kind of character trailers, and this was about 2.5 minutes long, and did you watch it?
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Cool. Yeah, it was really cool.
It was really good. I haven't even played the game recently, and I loved that video. It was really neat.
Oh, yeah.
So, pretty cool about this. Good to see them continue with Apex Legends. I know that dropped off a little bit, but it's still a pretty avid fan base from what I can tell.
Yeah.
Still being played pretty heavily, so it wouldn't...
I think a lot of those Battle Royale games are just... It's hard to stop them once they get going, they'll do it to themselves eventually,
Even once it... Like, they say it's dropped off a bit, right? There's still millions of players, so it's still a successful game, right?
Right. Well, like Fortnite's also, they're coming out with a brand new engine, starting.
Saw
that. Nobody knows what it is except for the insiders, I guess. But, I'm curious to see how that is, just from, a gamer perspective, just to see what they're doing.
Yeah.
But I've never been a big fan of Battle Royale because I suck at them. But Apex was pretty fun playing with you guys. That wasn't too bad.
Apex is fun. It's fast paced. It's more like a Call of Duty type shooter than the other battle royales. And it's easy to get in and out of matches quickly.
Yeah, some people were a little upset about the trailer too. I saw that they were kind of like, they thought it was very violent. They thought it was over the top for what Apex is.
I loved it.
I thought it was really cool looking. So
over the top for what Apex?
You know what I mean? You look
at
look at the I don't know if it was the Game Awards when they had that stupid dude Mirage, doing the that was super corny. And I
Keely.
guess people were, they were kind of like, yeah, this sucks. And then they came out with this one, which is completely the opposite of what we saw.
Which is why I loved it.
Yeah, and exactly. And there's still people. You're never going to make everyone happy.
No, you never make everyone happy.
I thought it was cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. Go watch it if you haven't. Speaking of our best friend Keely, and he's probably listening right now.
Yes, he is. What that Nintendo did.
I saw Kojima tweeted today, and of course it was posted everywhere, that he's writing his new script. He didn't say, he just said working on a new script.
Yeah, he's just going.
Along with sushi. He posted a picture of sushi or something else. But anyway, we'll see. I'm hoping, like we talked about last time, I'm hoping he's actually working on the horror game.
Yeah. I mean, not me, but yeah.
the very top response on his tweet was, "Will it make sense this time?"
That makes sense. Yep, I get that.
Oh boy. But yeah, we'll see. But anyway. All right, what else we got? What else? Behemoth. So if you don't know Behemoth, man, great games. Just really fun, great sense of humor. So Behemoth, if you're not familiar, Castle Crashers is really all I need to say. Alien Hominid was their first game. Castle Crashers, Pit People, and Battle Block Theater, which all hilarious games. Big games for what you get, what you paid for. They supported them really well. They announced that their new game was coming early in the week, and then what they showed was, I think everyone was hoping for Castle Crashers 2. What they showed was an actual update to Alien Hominid. So it's going to be a game called Alien Hominid Invasion. And so we'll see what this is. It was a kind of a brief trailer, just showed a whole bunch of alien hominids, and I would presume that it's going to be some kind of... they didn't say this, but I'm presuming it's going to be some sort of kind of mix of gameplay. Did you ever play Alien Hominid?
Yeah.
Fun game, but
fun.
Single player,
right.
cartoony. I'm thinking it's going to be co-op multiplayer where you have...
Crashers?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
You're kind of mixing the two where you have multiple aliens side-scrolling with guns and different weapons, and I think that could be really, really good.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Then you kind of get both of them in one. Yeah.
Because Alien Hominid was a cool character.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And you can unlock him in something else, too. What did I unlock him? Was it?
It might have been Castle Crashers.
I have him in something. It might be Castle Crashers, yeah.
Yeah.
But, really neat. So pay attention to that. I don't think they really said around, when it's coming. Not that I can recall. But, going to be a good one. Another thing people are excited for is Spawn in Mortal Kombat 11. So a lot of people... I'm actually not that excited for Spawn. I know a lot of people are. I don't really pay attention to it too much. But, they showed the artwork for him. He looks fantastic, as you would expect.
Yeah.
And this is going to debut at Final Combat, which is a sanctioned NetherRealm tournament for Mortal Kombat 11. That's happening on March 7th and 8th. So supposedly they're actually going to show Spawn off in gameplay and everything at that point. And I'm really just want to see kind of his gameplay and see his fatalities. I think that would be cool to see how they integrate him into the game. If you've been following Mortal Kombat 11, they added Joker recently.
Right.
And he looks fantastic as usual. And they're just, NetherRealm just has nailed their niche.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing for their audience.
Spawn as a character, I love. I mean, I've still got, the first issues of his comic book. Used to be one of my favorites. I love McFarlane's art style. I thought it was super unique. I still love it to this day. I thought the story was really, really good. I think it kind of went off track, maybe about 20 issues in, and I kind of stopped. And I was just like, okay. But it's had, he was in the last one too, right?
No, he was not the last one.
Or the one before that.
He was in one of them.
He was in one of them
but
before.
Was he the Xbox character? I can't remember. They've done so many cameos now.
Right. But yeah, I love Spawn. I mean, for fans of them, and Mortal Kombat 11, perfect. But, I suck at fighting games. I just suck at everything. So, no horror games, no fighting games.
Mortal Kombat 11 steel cases right above your head, I just noticed.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's where it's going to stay.
But, yeah, I sadly, this is disgraceful. As much as I begged for Nightwolf to be in Mortal Kombat 10 and now 11, and he finally came, I haven't gone back and played with him. So, I need to do that. Anyway, so that'll be pretty cool. And then we've also got DLC coming, the final expansion coming for Metro Exodus. So called Sam's Story, and this arrives February 11th, next week.
Yep.
Next week. So did you buy the season pass?
Yep.
Sweet.
I haven't played the first DLC.
Okay.
I can't remember the general one. So I was like, well, I'm just going to wait. Now these are going to be completely separate stories from what I understand, right?
Yeah, so it says here actually. Sam's Story is a sandbox survival expansion. Right. Players will forge Sam's path on his journey through Vladivostok on his way home to the USA.
That's awesome.
So
love Sam.
Survival Sandbox has me kind of, that.
Well, that's kind of how Metro Exodus was, right? So
I didn't play far enough.
The last DLC, from what I understand, was more of like an on-rail, similar to like, the first two games.
Yep.
And Exodus was more of a sandbox. This one's supposed to be bigger, from what I've read. And so I'm assuming they'll take like maybe one or two of those levels of Metro Exodus or whatever it is, that size anyway. Maybe not necessarily those two levels, and maybe put them together. That's what I'm hoping for as far as, size. We'll see. I'm going to play them for sure because I love Metro Exodus. It was one of my favorite games of last year, or whenever it came out.
It was last year.
Yeah, it was last year. Yeah, so I'm excited about that.
Cool.
What else came out, man? That Terminator for Breakpoint.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm actually going to go back and play some of that. So
people have said it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, which is amazing, considering what we're talking about. But I want to try that out. A lot of stuff coming out, like smaller games.
Like additions. Additions.
Well, even what is it? Dark Crystal Tactics or whatever that one is, or the Age of Resistance.
Yeah,
comes out I think this week.
Okay.
Or Friday. Got that one pre-ordered. We're ready to go.
Well, we were just talking about how need some new stuff to play.
Yes.
And the big games don't start till next month, really.
Exactly.
The full release of Dreams is next week too, on Valentine's Day. And they're doing some special things with that, so that could be interesting. Like, I think they're doing some special... They actually did some in-game awards for people that had created stuff. But they're going to do some special launch stuff, too. And I bought the supporters edition or whatever, so I have the full game ahead of time, which is cool.
Yep.
Looking forward to that. But you want to talk to us about...
Journey?
Yeah. So a lot of people have been talking about this one, Journey to the Savage Planet, released... a $30 game, so half price game, kind of in the mid sevens or so average kind of review score. But I've seen a lot of positive people talking about it in terms of like relaxing game. It's funny apparently, and has a really cool art style.
Yes.
So I know you said you beat it.
Yep.
Yeah. So you're gonna be doing the review for us formally, but
right. Yeah.
Talk to me.
Talk to you. It's. So at first when I saw it, it kind of reminded me a little bit of like Outer Worlds. Just that.
Yeah.
Outer space kind of thing. You're basically a guy, you're on a planet, you've got to search for, resources, and there's a storyline that's kind of, there. It's more just about exploring. It's not very big, which is nice, actually. It's kind of, it's open world, but it's sandbox, but it's, compressed. Like there's 3 different areas.
It's not Red Dead.
Yeah, it's not Red Dead. And each one of those areas is pretty decent size, except for the last one. That's a little bit smaller, but tons of different plants, animals or creatures. They've got boss fights. There's and it really encourages you to explore, to find to upgrade your items. Some of which are you're going to do just doing the main story. But some stuff, like raising your health, you have to eat these weird gooey plant things, and so you've got and there's 100 of those things.
Okay.
I finished it finding like 35 of them. So, I could have probably,
Slacker.
Right. So now I'm going back and kind of trying to find secrets now that I finished the game, because it allows you to go back and, do whatever. The humor.
Yeah.
It's probably the funniest game I've played since Outer Worlds.
Okay.
It might be funnier but it's so much smaller.
Yeah.
And condensed. They have these commercials, and me and my son just sat there and watched these commercials, like just in a row. I watched them as I played, and I was like, "You gotta watch these things." And we sat there, and we were dying. They're the dumbest things that you could think of, and I don't know what I can't even. There's one where like sea monkeys. Okay.
I know sea monkeys.
Okay, you know sea monkeys. So there's like a commercial with this old guy and this younger guy, maybe his son or grandson or whatever, and they've got a mall, like a set of like a mall, like a model of a mall. And instead of sea monkeys, it's humans. And you put them in, you mix them up with your little water, you put them in there, and they walk around the mall and stuff. I'm not doing it justice. You can hit like a Black Friday button and... they all fight and
and it's like a TV commercial in the game.
Yeah, it's like a TV commercial in the game. It's just it's and it's only at your ship, and you get like messages from other people. Those are also hilarious. So I mean, you read everything. It's really, for $30, very, very good game. There are issues,
Sure,
but I'll touch on those in the review.
I've heard it's like people have described it as kind of like a chunk of No Man's Sky, but with a sense of humor.
Yes, that's fair.
Is that pretty fair?
I think that's pretty fair.
Okay.
It's got some control issues,
All right.
which are super frustrating, especially and the big boss battles, and the difficulty ramps up at certain points.
Okay.
And I don't like those big difficulty spikes. All of a sudden there's no difficulty slider or anything, so it's just kind of one deal, and it's not hard until you get closer to the end, and it's just like, oh yeah, we're gonna make this damn near impossible. And there were times, where I wanted to punch something. So once I got through it, though, I kind of found myself like, okay, you know what? I do want to kind of go and explore and do some other things. So it's a weird game for sure, but I think for $30, you could do far worse.
Cool. I've actually got my copy coming, so I'll be playing that this week too. One thing I wanted to mention that I forgot to mention as we were talking through some of the updates this week is CD Projekt Red going all the way back to Cyberpunk. They mentioned that there's going to be 75 what they call street stories. Did you see this?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so 75 street stories, which are essentially, I guess, side missions, right? Mm-hmm. But they said that the team that's developing those is a completely separate team dedicated to the street missions, so that every mission is unique and, like different from just your nonsense Ubisofty stuff, where it's just fetch quests or boring stuff. So sounded really interesting. Of course, only got me more hyped up for Cyberpunk. I forgot to mention that earlier when we talked about Cyberpunk, but it just popped in my head, so I wanted to mention it.
I'm so disappointed that it got pushed back.
So if you didn't see that, even more reason to be, pumped for Cyberpunk.
This game, it's got to deliver.
Expectations are going to be...
They're humongous.
Yeah, between that and The Last of Us 2, and I think both will deliver. But the expectations are literally like game of the generation type expectations.
Yeah, for both of them, really.
For both of them, yep. Yeah. It's going to be... I think people already are thinking, what's going to win Game of the Year? It's either Last of Us or Cyberpunk.
Yeah, I don't see...
in reality, it's going to be Halo Infinite, so I don't even know why we're talking about this.
Yeah,
but
it won't make the cutoff date. That's what I'm guessing.
It'll
be a day after.
Keely's going to make sure. He's like, when's it release? Okay, our cutoff date is one day earlier.
The PS5 will release on November 14th. The Xbox will release on the 15th. The cutoff is going to be the 14th. For anything released. God damn it, Keely.
Yeah. Kojima's script will be up for Game of the Year.
Oh. I have to make sure that didn't come out my nose.
Oh, man. So what else playing?
Man, I don't know, man. I play a little bit more Madden. You know what else I'm trying to finish?
Madden is in EA Access, by the way.
Yeah.
So it's in the vault. So Madden 20, if you're in Super Bowl mode still and want to go play it, play it.
And it's on Project X Cloud. I mentioned that last week.
Yes.
So playing on my phone a little bit. I'm actually trying to finish off Wolfenstein Youngblood.
Okay. Bert and I played that once in co-op, and I haven't touched it since.
Yeah, it's probably not a bad thing because it's like, hey, here's Wolfenstein 2 and all the coolness and all the mechanics and the playability with the most annoying characters I've ever seen. I mean, they're just, and I'm not obviously trying to be sexist. They're twin girls.
Yeah, they're his daughters.
They're his daughters.
Yeah.
And they are, I don't know why they were written this way, but they're corny as hell. They're just super corny the whole time, and I just want to...
Which is weird because you would have figured,
Like, they're not badasses. They are badasses.
Like, BJ is obviously an ultimate badass, and Wolfenstein 2 was beloved so greatly.
Right.
Why wouldn't you want to stick with that? It feels like they tried to capitalize on the current culture climate.
Yeah.
And somehow missed the mark.
Yeah. I mean, there are some things that aren't too bad, but for the most part, it's just them...
Culture climate? I don't know what I was saying. You know what I mean.
Yeah, you know what you're talking about. So, like, they call each other dude all the time, which is fine, I guess, but, after a while, it just gets super annoying, and it's
Did you finish it?
I am, I don't know where I'm at. It's not very big, but it's one of those, kind of Metroidvania where you gotta go back and forth. A lot of side missions. I think I'm on the third. Like there's 3 different towers that you have to take out or whatever. I'm on the third one of those.
Okay.
But I'm also going back and doing all the side missions because they don't take very long.
Okay.
And it's got a pretty decent difficulty, but I could never play with somebody else. I don't think because it would just I mean. I don't know, man. Like, I was super excited when it came out, and I played a little bit with our buddy Greg, my buddy Greg, and so that was super frustrating. So I decided to just finish on myself because I needed, perfect time. Not a lot of games coming out.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna finish it. I'll probably finish it maybe tonight, depending on I don't know how much farther I have to go.
Okay.
But it's for like a $30 game. Maybe $20.
Yeah, it's even cheaper now. I mean, it dropped pretty quickly.
Yeah, $20. Pick it up. There's you get the season pass or whatever, the buddy pass, or it comes with it, the deluxe version, or I think it's.
Yeah, it was $40 for that.
Yeah,
and I gave the pass to Bert so he could play it.
Right. Yeah, and so somebody else can play it with you.
Yep.
If you really want to co-op, and it's decent length for a game too. I mean, so I'll give it that. It's just, gosh, those girls. They were so poorly written because it's so serious, like everything around it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you've got these 2 yahoos that just want to call each other dude, and
it's kind of weird.
The robot. This is how you.
As you're killing Nazis.
Yeah, I'm not even joking. That's how you pep them. Like if you want to give like a little armor boost to somebody. This is what I do. Or you're like, yeah, devil horns.
Okay, I think I remember that now. We only played it once. So.
Yeah, it's terrible.
But
also fun. Yeah, that's all I've been playing, I think. Haven't had a lot of time.
Yeah, I've been back on Red Dead. I got over my frustration with losing my daily streak, and I said, all right, I just need to get back to this. So I'm back at like 4 days now or something. And
Gotcha.
But they've got some bonuses going on, for that kind of give back that Rockstar's doing. But they've had some actual other things in game. Like they had one, for instance, where every time you leveled up your role, bounty hunter, moonshiner, etc., every time you leveled up, they would give you 1,000 extra XP to that role.
Yeah, it's great.
And naturally,
I have them all maxed
you have
out.
them all maxed, but naturally, it's all screwed up. So I leveled my bounty hunter 1 level, right? Mm-hmm. And this was like over the weekend. I logged in this morning, and I had 4,000 extra XP to redeem.
Fantastic.
So I literally went up multiple levels and unlocked everything. So, but I've been doing the moonshine and just leveling. I think I'm at level 87 of the pass. So I told you I wanted to get to 90 to get the Husky.
You might as well make it to 100, yeah.
I'm going to do 100 because I didn't realize. I was thinking to myself, wait, I never looked at what 100 is.
Yeah.
And what you actually get is you get an outfit, which doesn't seem that great, but it's John Marston's outfit.
Right.
It's literally
you
his
get
outfit.
Arthur's outfit during that too, I think. The blue,
no, that's what I meant.
The blue one.
That's what I meant.
Yeah,
Arthur, not John. I was thinking of Red Dead 1.
Yeah,
you get Arthur's outfit at level 100.
You get that too, though. You get John's outfit through the...
Do you?
Yeah.
I probably already have it then.
I'm guessing you do. Yeah.
So, been playing that. We talk about this all the time, but, I didn't play it for like a week because I was pissed. Logged onto it. God, that game. Every time I turn it on, I look at it and I'm like, a game can't look this good.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't get it. I don't get how it looks good in all the different... Because it's not just you stare at a screenshot, right? It's like you come over a hill and like the way the moonlight hits things, or the way the sunlight goes through the trees, and just all these different aspects. Like the wind will blow over and slowly blow over like dust and stuff. And it's it's unbelievable, the environment in that game.
I think it's mostly because, there's a lot of extra processing power since there are no animals in the game, ever. They're able to, use those assets, to make everything look much better.
It's actually an 8K now. So.
That's exactly right.
So for people who don't know what we're talking about, Red Dead Online has a big bug that people are pretty furious about and has been going for months, where once you get over a certain number of players on a server, and we've talked about this a little
15
bit.
or 16.
The animals in the world disappear. They don't spawn. And so you can't kill things, you can't get pelts. You hear all the sounds. It sounds like they're there.
Sounds like they're there.
If you're playing surround sound, you look, but there's nothing there.
Nope.
The nice thing is Rockstar finally, just today, right?
Yep.
Just today acknowledged it as an issue and said they have a fix coming. So we'll see. I know that's going to make a lot of people's day. If you go on the Red Dead Online Reddit,
oh man,
every day there's multiple posts at the top around where the F are all the animals.
It's crazy, man.
Because it's an integral part of the game.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a role, and I wrote about it called the trader role that relies on you hunting and getting animals in pellets. There are daily challenges that you have to kill animals for.
Did you log in today by chance?
No, which one? What's the
daily challenges? So there's like, what, 9 or something, right?
There's 9, and then there's like the specialist rules.
So of the 9 like daily ones, like 7 of them had to do with like animal parts. And someone on Reddit is like, Rockstar, are you taking the piss? Yeah. Which, if you're not familiar with English phrases, like basically, are you effing kidding me?
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny, but yeah. Long story short, still a great game, regardless.
Sure.
But it'll be great once they fix that. It'll
once
feel
they
like
fix
a proper
that,
game again.
I'll be back.
Yeah. I went back and played some Gears 5 this week. Keep going back to that. They had the latest update. Contis is in the game now. If you're a big Gears guy, you'll know who Contis is. Great character. Amazing. He looks fantastic in the game. And they fixed the Gnasher. So, Gears, if you're like me and you've played Gears since the first, there's always debates over that feel of the Gnasher. Which shotgun. The shotgun, Gnasher. The fact that I had to tell you.
I knew.
Okay, all right, scare me.
Yeah.
Because I know our listeners know what the Gnasher is.
I know what the Gnasher is.
So after the update previous to this one, something just felt off about it. They modified it to try and make it better, and as usual, they made it worse. And then you turn and swing and shoot someone, and you get the pellet marks, but they wouldn't die, and you're like, what is going on here? So logged in, my screen might as well just been body parts. I mean, I was blowing people apart. I told my buddy who I play with right away, I was like, oh my god, this feels so good again. So they fixed that, added character, some good updates. So, as always, it's fun to jump back into Gears. And then just so I could talk about it, I re-downloaded Battlefield 5 and logged in to see where that game is. I thought Into the Jungle was already out, but it wasn't. But I did play the Pacific War, which is on those classic Battlefield maps like Iwo Jima and Wake Island. Still an absolutely gorgeous game.
Oh, yeah.
I was getting my ass kicked because I haven't played that game. I didn't know where I was going. I don't know the gear. I just haven't played. But I was still enjoying it. It just felt good to me. Chaotic as always in Battlefield, but I just, I'm not close enough to it to understand all the criticisms that it gets beyond what we've already talked about, of course. So, but anyway, so that's what I've been playing. Looking forward to trying to Journey to the Savage Planet. My PC comes Friday, just heard. So
nice.
And then what else comes Friday? Phantasy Star Online 2 beta.
There's another game coming out that I cannot remember for the life of me that I'm really kind of looking forward to. But yeah, it's not a whole lot. I'm gonna look it up while you talk.
Okay.
About.
But yeah, so I built a new PC. Didn't really plan on it, mostly for editing. But obviously it's got to play some games, and I researched monitors like crazy. And of course, I ordered like a 32-inch curved, 144 hertz monitor. And then talking to one of my PC buddies, which was a mistake to begin with, and he's like, I've got the ultra-wide Alienware, and he's like, once you go ultra-wide, you won't go back. And I'm like, damn it. So I literally have 2 monitors on the way here. I'm going to have to send the 32-inch back because I'm getting the 34-inch Alienware ultra-wide. But I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be fun to jump back in. Just from an editing perspective, giving me a lot more power to get some things done. And but I'm looking forward to jumping into World of Tanks. I don't know if anyone listens to us plays World of Tanks. I played that game for years. I'm really looking forward to jumping back into that. There's a lot of people critical of that game. I rejoined that subreddit and started talking with people, and I don't know what the state of the game is like right now, but still looking forward to jumping back in, so that'll be fun. I've also figured with an ultra-wide, I may check out like Witcher 3 or Red Dead on PC just to see for myself in 120 frames, and just see.
It's gonna be
that insane, could be dangerous, though.
Yeah.
Could be real dangerous.
Yeah, so it's not this week. It's the 11th. Is Yakuza 5. The part of the remastered edition.
You were telling me. Yeah, we talked last week about that one.
Yep, and then Zombie Army 4 comes out.
Yep, reviews are out that today. They're mixed. Seem to be... We didn't... that's one I could have gotten a copy of early and to review it and just didn't. But that is... it seems to be mixed. I saw some reviews like 8s. I saw some like 5s. So, kind of a mix.
Yeah, and then, let's see here. That's really it. Not much this week. Dark Crystal that I'm going to get for sure.
Yeah.
And review that for the site because that was like when I was a kid, it was one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
I love the Netflix series.
I still watch it.
I thought this game was coming out in like September for some reason. So
that's what confused me when you said it tonight, because I thought it was already out.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought it was supposed to come out. I think it was supposed to come out in the fall.
Okay.
Or either that or they just never really put like a. I mean, it doesn't look like it's going to blow anybody away.
No. But if you're a fan,
oh yeah, I'm super excited about this. And
next week,
tomorrow I think the 4th.
Oh yeah, sweet. There you go.
On Tuesday, so I'll be playing that, and then I'll play Yakuza 5 through that on next week. So I got some stuff coming out to.
Got some stuff to hold you
tide
over.
me over to Doom, maybe.
I was gonna say we've been talking a lot about Doom being the March game. I completely forgot Ori.
Oh yeah.
Ori's in March too, so we get Ori and Doom almost back to back, and both of those. Doom has one of the coolest collector's editions. For people like me, I've seen it in a while. I saw that helmet at E3, and it's effing awesome. But Ori, if you're interested, has a really cool collector's edition too. Nice box, soundtrack, and it's only like $50. So if you're interested, well, I know you don't collect those, but for listeners that collect that stuff, if you haven't seen that, definitely check it out.
Yeah, even next month is it's a little bit light. You got Ori, you got what is the other one? The Doom, and then the show's coming out next month for PlayStation, Persona 5. There's just such a lull. You know what I mean?
It's really until May, but I mean,
right.
Doom and Ori are both of those games are going to be bigger than their predecessors,
right?
Especially with Doom saying twice the size. So I think just between Ori and Doom alone, I'll probably put 70, 80, 90 hours. So
Gears Tactics when it comes out.
Oh, I can't wait for that. Yeah,
PC.
I can do that
New
now.
PC.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
So yeah. Anyway, all right. So we'll wrap it up here. This week, I mentioned this last week, but the shipping was delayed for whatever reason. But the Leshen statue, the Witcher Leshen statue from Dark Horse is coming, I think, Wednesday or Thursday this week. So look for my unboxing and kind of video review on that by this weekend. You're doing the review for Journey of the Savage Planet. So if you're curious on our thoughts about that game, we'll have that up. Finishing up, I think I mentioned this last week too. I'm just trying to make this a worthwhile article, so taking my time on it. Not one of those things we just rush out. Kind of make a list, but underappreciated titles of the generation. Kind of doing my homework because, as you can imagine, there's a couple that come to mind, right? Then you start doing a bunch of research, and you're like, oh, I forgot about that game, and I forget. It's been 7 years.
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to make sure I kind of capture all the games that kind of our audience would think is being underappreciated. I've come across some gems there, so working on that. And coming in the near future, probably not this week, but I'll mention it anyway, going to do a preview on Magic Legends. So the ARPG that came out. So I was actually, someone reached out and turned me on to kind of like additional information on that, which was kind of cool. So going to do a preview. I know Game Informer did a lot on it this week. That was like their monthly thing they do. But it'd be cool to kind of shed some more light on that game too.
Cool.
So, yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
So talked to another buddy of ours, or at least mine who I talked to, Wilmy Hood. So if you follow us on Twitter, you probably know who Wilmy is. He's a good community member, donates to a lot of causes. He runs his own Gaming Beyond the Box podcast, so he's going to join us in a future episode as well.
Sweet.
So good times. So that's coming in the near future when we work it out and we feel like we have a good kind of topic to bring a guest on for. So anyway, that'll wrap us up. That's Bitcast 91. Anything else?
No, man.
All good. Only after this, 8 episodes away from 100.
It's crazy.
So nuts.
Yep, we're doing it naked.
I have not agreed to this.
Surprise! More breaking news.
I was about to say that week will be audio only, but that wouldn't even help the situation.
Nope, yeah. Not at all.
All right, guys. Thanks as always for tuning in. We will see you next week.